What's up? What's up? What's up? Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the Verified AMA. I'm your host, Lawton Ho, here with Verified Investing, and I go live every single day that the markets are open. And sometimes when they're not. To answer your questions, I was pausing for dramatic effect, but I don't think that went over too well. What's going on, everybody? How's it going? It's kind of hot in here. Hopefully, you guys had a great day so far. Markets initially dropped over bad producer price inflation, PPI data, saying that there's more inflation. So that's causing the markets to roll over. But the markets have since then rebounded a little bit. But yeah. As always, guys, thank you so much for joining me every single day. It means the world to me. If you could do me a favor, go ahead and like and hit the subscribe button. I'd be very, very happy to know that you guys like our content. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for liking. Give us a subscription on the Verified Investing YouTube channel. And it is really hot in this studio. Wow. I mean, in this room. Can't you see this amazingly huge room that I'm in with the desks over there? And on this side, we have some bar tables. And we like to keep it really nice and really neat. Not sure what this is down here. I think it's a little vent or something. You can see my office right here. There's my desk. But anyways, how's everybody's doing today? All right, let's hop into the questions, shall we? Nathan starting us first. Oh, and by the way, guys, for those of you just tuning in, you can ask questions by scanning this QR code down below. This is the only place that you can ask questions to me. Scan this QR code or visit the verifiedinvesting.com website and throw your questions in there for me. All right, let's hop into it. Nathan says, good morning, Lawton. Good morning, Nathan. Bitcoin is dropping after a new all-time high. Where do you see Bitcoin support? What do you see for Ethereum? Good questions here. So let's see, GE. All right, let's go like this. Bitcoin. Let's go to Bitcoin. Yeah, so Bitcoin did make new all-time highs and fell absolutely rapidly, losing all of those gains. And to be honest, it could have been just a little tickle of that new all-time high. Could have been a bull trap, right? And a bull trap is where you see an up move, break a key level, trap the buyers thinking it's going to continue to go higher, and then flush, right? Get the rug basically pulled from under you. But the inflation numbers also, cause everything to fall down. If we take a look at the 1 minute chart, you'll see where exactly the inflation numbers came out. It was 8:30 this morning, and Bitcoin fell 3% from that level, right? Basically off of that, but was still pulling back ahead of that as well. But as far as support, I mean, you have decent support down here at 116. I'd say 116 should be a level for a bounce, potentially down here at 114. And of course, you have levels down here around 111, 112 as far as support is concerned. As far as Ethereum, so yeah, Ethereum having a nice move up. I made a video about this saying that it looked like it really wanted this double top. But the place it actually pulled back from was this level right here, this pivot high here, this 47.82 level. Let's take a bit of a deeper dive at that level and look, where did it pull back exactly? That pivot high, literally like to the penny pretty much, as close as you can get. Hit that level, boom, fall. Fell 7%, bouncing a little bit now, only down 5%. So for Ethereum, I expected a pullback. I expect support to lie So around here, around 4,200 or 200. Mar says, hi, Lon. Nice you're here again. Of course. Nice that you're here again, Mar. I am like sweating already, and I've only been here for 6 minutes. Can you explain to us what's the best way to use VWAP? It confuses me. That's giving away secrets. But for you, I will give you a little bit of guidance. I use VWAP to trade, and I plan to make a course on how I use it. Dr. Beam has a course about it, but his course is going to be a little different from mine. I use mine significantly different. The most important thing that you need to know in VWAP, when you turn on VWAP, you're only going to get this thin blue line here. Okay. What you need to know is that VWAP, in a nutshell, is the volume weighted average price. So the average price of this, of the stock adjusted for the amount of volume in the buys and the sells. Okay. And as you can see, this thin blue line, which is VWAP, is a place where there's going to be significant support or resistance, particularly on the intraday. I do not use VWAP on any other time frame other than the 1 minute time frame, pretty much. Right? You could experiment with the 5 and 10 minute, but I only use it pretty much with the 1 minute. And using this VWAP, guys, you see it bounce off of VWAP here, bounce 3 bounces, finally pierces, and now is significantly far below. Important thing to remember is VWAP, after it is broken and confirmed, it goes from support to resistance. Was support, and now is resistance. Okay. That's a basic, like a 10-second course on VWAP. I hope that made sense. Patel says, could you please check Crowdstrike for potential swing trade opportunity? Yeah, absolutely. What's a good level to enter for a quick bounce? Quick bounce and swing trade are not the same thing. Not the same thing. Okay, it's not the same thing. You can't ask me where it's going to get us a quick bounce and also ask for a swing trade. Quick bounces are like scalps. Those are like day trades. So where is it likely to get a bounce here? Now, is it going to be quick? Yeah, potentially for a day trade. Would I buy here for a swing trade? No. Down here as well. Keaton says, hi, Lon, why is Nvidia so strong? Well, where is it bouncing off of? It has this nice, beautiful kind of upsloping trend line that you see there that it's attempted to break through. This trend line isn't the best. Let me correct this. There you go. Hits 1, 2, 3, attempting to break below it, but is still staying strong. The reason why it's staying strong is because Nvidia is the gem of the market, right? It is the crown jewel, the diamond, the most important part of the stock market. It's what's keeping the stock market afloat, pretty much. So if Nvidia falls, everything else falls, right? It's like the first domino, except it's like the biggest domino. So yeah. So imagine like the stock market as like a bunch of dominoes, but it's backwards. Nvidia is the biggest, and that falls first in this case. And that even if the smaller ones try and fall, Nvidia is still going to keep everything upright, if that makes sense. You can think of it like a dam, right? Like a dam. Yeah, if like there are some leaks, it's fine. Some water will get through. But once the dam breaks, it's all going through. I'm like dying actually in this heat. Okay. Sorry guys if my energy is not that great because I'm literally dying. Okay. Wes saying surprise stocks isn't bouncing higher today. The fact that it hasn't seems to be concerning about what it takes to have a decent move higher. So Nvidia had a down move yesterday, right? It had a move down. You're talking almost 1%. But despite that, let me turn the notifications off, sound off, so you guys don't hear that I was just talking to my office manager about heat. So Nvidia was down yesterday, right? Down yesterday. However, AMD kept SOXS up, right? Kept it up because it was up so much. So if AMD pulls back and Nvidia pulls back at the same time, you're likely to see a big pop in the SOXS. Mar says, nice room, by the way. Thanks so much, Mar. The topping tail is negated on Bitcoin now is forming a huge engulfing reversal candle. That's even better, right? To the short, yes. Agreed. Yes. This is super bearish for Bitcoin. Paula says, could we see someone running a short with crypto? I am set up on Kraken. That doesn't matter. It would be good to step through this. Yeah, we're already short crypto. I'm short. What am I short this week? I give you a little sneak preview. Hype? I think it's hype. I must have done it on the wrong. Let's see here. I'll give you a sneak preview. Hype. Yeah, see, I'm short hype, and I'm already. My target is somewhere down here, 15%. So I'm already short crypto right now. We're pretty much short crypto already. Paula says 12K. It was inflation. Yep, got it. I was on several channels. Cool. Thanks for the information, Paula. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, inflation caused the markets to fall. Rathan says, is Tesla a buy here for a potential upside? Tesla, yeah. So for me, Tesla attempted to break out of this, and I said this was super bullish. I said it was super bullish on this. However, it's coming back. Coming down. There's a gap fill here at 39.60 that there should be a bounce on Tesla for. I'm anticipating a bounce there on this gap fill, but this might be better as a day trading level as compared to a swing trade level. If you want a good level to buy Tesla, I'd probably buy on this down sloping trend line about around 311-ish. Mr. Fisher, what's up, Mr. Fisher? Hey, Mr. Fisher. What do you think of eBay? eBay, can you see some support or resistance? So there's a gap fill over here, a 97.06. And again, over here, a 77.55. So those are some levels of support, rather, excuse me. As far as resistance is concerned, eBay, yeah, eBay shooting to new highs. Let's see if I can't find a trend line, which I'm sure I can. Because one thing about trend lines is you can always find them, for better or for worse. Yeah, this trend line isn't great. Not that it's bad, but it's just far away, right? You're talking about a move up 17% higher. It's feasible, right, for a pullback. Let me see if I can find a better / closer level for you. And you can do this at home just by looking out for some trend lines. Oh, look at that, guys. Look at that. Okay. This is what gets me excited when I'm talking about trading. I didn't see the trend line before, but high pivot, previous high, all-time high. I believe this was the previous all-time. No, it wasn't. Previous, this was when the stock market was at all-time highs in January, continued higher, hit this trend line, all-time high, boom, pullback. Now, does this mean that this thing is going to fall 50%? Not necessarily. It doesn't have to. No. But these could be levels that price gets. I'll give you these levels for a bounce. And, this gap fill is probably only good for a day trade, if even that. I mean, it's pretty close, but yeah. But this is what I have as far as support and resistance on eBay. On eBay. Paula says, I heard Elliott Wave was the key to understand crypto cycles. Can you go over that? I know I've heard of Elliott Waves, but I don't feel comfortable explaining them to you just because I don't know them as well as I'd like to before explaining that to you. One thing about me, I'm super, super honest, right? 100% honest, real with you guys. If I don't know something, if I haven't traded something, I'll tell you. And if I'm not comfortable explaining something to you, just because I don't want to give you the wrong information and potentially harm you, then I'll admit to that. So I'm not comfortable explaining Elliott Waves as far as crypto cycles are concerned, unfortunately. But I'd be happy to answer any other questions you have. Like the next one. Like the next question you have, or says, Paula says, in a long / grinding bear market, can buying a put option be less risky than a short? Pros, cons. Well, here's the difference between a shorting and putting in a put option, right? For the pros and the cons. Okay, so if you are shorting something, right, you'll make money as the stock goes down. But if it goes against you, it's fine. You can hold it, right, until it comes into your direction, right? Now there is a risk to that, in that if you're using margin to short, which often you are, you have the potential of losing a lot more. Let's say you start a short at a stock at $1 and it goes up to $2, right? If you're buying a stock, if you buy stock and it's valued at $1 and then it drops to $0, you have $0. That's it. You can't lose any more than you put in. If you initiate a short at $1, it goes to $2, you're down 100% of that position. But let's say it continues to go up, it's still going to eat away at your account because you can still have it open. It doesn't automatically close just because you're 100% out of the money. So you could potentially lose more than what you put in, right? As far as an option is, options are risky because you have a time limit. And if this thing doesn't move in your direction within the time limit, you could be out of the money significantly. And if it expires, then your option will be worthless. Okay. Unless you like roll it over or, but for the most part. But with put options, you can make a lot more money just because with put options, they're like really like volatile, right? The percentages you can get are significantly higher. So those are some of the pros and the cons of shorting and options. But as always, right, like I'm a verified pro here, but at the end of the day, it's important that you do your own research. You don't just listen to somebody on the internet, even if it's me, especially if it's me, just so you can kind of get a better understanding of the entire picture, I guess. Thank you, Dr. G, for reposting the stream. I appreciate that. If you guys are tuning in for the first time, hi, again, my name is Lawton Ho here with Verified Investing. I do this every day from 12:30 to 1:15, and I answer your questions. If you could just consider giving this a like or subscribing to us on YouTube, it really helps the algorithm and helps people know. That helps us know that you like this content. If you want to ask your question, scan this QR code down below or visit the verifiedinvesting.com homepage. Let me get some water in me because, again, really hot in this office. Let's keep going. Brewski says, hey, Lon. What's up, Brewski? Nice to see you again. Thanks for coming back. Happy to see you made it through the thunderstorm yesterday. I did. I tried to get struck by lightning. I tried to become Thor. And unfortunately, I'm still Lawton. Anyways, you're asking me, what are the levels for Hecla Mining Company, ticker HI? HL, sorry. HL. Hecla Mining. Okay, the levels. So what did I have? I had this downsloping trend line that if it could break above into earnings was bullish. And it broke above those levels. So where does the stock pull back? Let's see the previous price history. Okay, awesome. I love that we have previous price data so it can give us a better understanding of where price is likely to pull back from, get a bounce, etc., etc. You have a level up here. You have this up here. Boom, boom. Major level up here. I believe this is double top. It's triple top pretty much up here. So these are my levels for Hecla Mining. So this first level is the level that I expected a pullback. And what did it do? It came up into that level, and I'm not saying I'm a genius because it did go 2% against you, but has pulled back about 1% from that level. So that would be my first level of resistance on Hecla Mining. The next level I have is 808. You also had this pivot high here, right, providing extra levels of resistance. So the next level I have, and how I got that is finding this pivot top. The next level is this pivot top up here, approximately 6% higher from its current price. There's going to be some decent resistance there. You saw that it gapped down. I'm not sure if it gapped down because of earnings or what, but on this gap down, you know, this is the highest bounce it got from there. So you're definitely going to see some people sitting there potentially in 2021. So this is about 10 or 11-ish% higher, around 846. And then finally, you have a beautiful gap fill here at $8.77. And then, of course, you have this double or triple top pretty much. Looks like it made new all-time highs up here, and it tapped it again a couple days later before having its steep and fast ascent. So what you can do is you can just take a picture of this or screenshot it, or just watch this later and then see my levels and come back and tell me that I'm wrong, which is fine too. But these are my levels on Hecla Mining. Let's keep going. Mar says about LUNC. My girlfriend likes LUNC. Okay. LUNC USDT, and she has millions of them. And she wants to know when LUNC reaches $1. Can you give her a few pointers? When this will reach $1? Yeah, I don't. So again, I love to be honest. I've never traded this before. So that's the first thing. I've never traded this before. Right. And if it reaches $1, yeah, please share with me. I would ask, please share some of that cash with me. Don't forget me. But I don't see it going to $1 anytime soon, just because I don't understand its utility or its value or its use. What I do understand are trend lines. And I have this beautiful downsloping trend line. It basically hit 1, 2, 3 times. So the next hit favors a move higher. So if we break this on such a small coin, I could easily see a move up 150%. But the question is, look how far this trend line goes. It can keep going down forever, right? If price goes something like this, it's still below the trend line, still hasn't broken it. And then a move up 150% from here is going to be like a move back up to here. So just watch this trend line and see if it can get a bounce off of a break of this close above. Elon says it's funny how people ask you questions as if you're a crystal ball. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's all good. I don't mind, and I'm real with them. You know, like I will do my best to answer your questions, but if I don't know something, if I can't tell you something, if I can't predict something, you know, is what it is. And I tell you guys every single day, and I said this yesterday, the day before, and the day before that. I'm not a genie. I'm not a fortune teller. I'm not a psychic, right? All I can do is read charts and try and tell you what the probabilities, the probable move is, right? And I've been wrong before. I'm going to be wrong again. I was probably already wrong today, right? But I'm just reading the charts, right? And doing my best to give you guys hopefully some useful information. So thanks for being here, and thanks for being here, Elon. I know you've been here from the beginning, so I really appreciate that. Taylor says, "Hi, Lawton. Sorry to be being microwaved at the moment. I'm literally being I feel like there's like I'm a lizard, and I got the heat lamps on me. Anyways, I'm eyeing Duolingo for a swing trade, couple of weeks to a couple of months. Okay. What do your eyes see on the daily time frame? Duolingo. Yeah, Duolingo popped initially on earnings and pulled back decently. This has been a steep and steady fall. However, you could have had a bottoming tail here, an official start of a bottoming tail. Let's see if it was a bottoming tail. It's not an official bottoming tail, but it could be a reversal signal. Additionally, you had this downsloping trend line that was the reason, I believe, for the Duolingo pop. But it came back down and is now closing, trying to fight back above this down sloping trend line. However, what I would be worried about, Taylor, if I'm you, is this, right? You have this down move. If you have this kind of upward sideways consolidation, what formation is that? It's a bear flag. Bear flag favors a move lower. Favors a move lower. Okay. Zach saying, "Hey, Lon, thanks for all your hide." Oh, sorry, Taylor. I'm not even done. I'm not even done with you. So sorry. If it retraces down, and look where it bounced off of. I didn't even give you a level. I just talked about a potential bear flag. I apologize for that. So you saw it bounced off that. It's got a decent bounce, 7% from this basically pivot low from all the way in April. My levels for an entry could be around these Liberation Day lows down here, or these March lows off of its previous poor earnings. However, if you really want to get into this, you could enter a long right here on a potential retrace to this downsloping trend line, right? So somewhere around the 320 area. But this is how I would play it. If let's say I entered right here at 321, 322, I'd put a stop out level on a break, a new low, right? A new pivot low, right? A low below this pivot low. That's where. So you're risking approximately 5%. But as far as my profit is concerned, I'd look to take around an 18% gain. I think this thing can absolutely bounce. You're talking about a move down 34%. I think a 50% retrace could be possible, if not likely, right? So I look for at least a $50 profit on this, at least 15%, right? And if you're risking 5%, so your stop loss is set to 5%, but your target is 15%. That's a 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio, good ratio. Anything above 1 is good depending on your win rate. But that's how I would personally play Duolingo if I wanted to go long for a swing. I hope that's helpful. Back to Zach. Hey, Lon, thanks for your hard work this summer. Thank you so much for your hard work. Zach coming in here and asking questions. What do you think about APLD, Applied Digital, going to earnings? Going to earnings. It just had earnings. It has earnings in 60 days. So I think you're chilling. I think it's okay. Like, I don't see it really moving much. You have like 2 months before earnings, so I'm not sure if this is the proper stock. However, look at this beautiful trend line. 1, 2, and where did it pull back off of yesterday? That same trend line. Now, if you can break above this trend line, close above it, it favors the move higher. In fact, this almost, to me at least, looks like a potential wedge pattern, right? A wedge pattern forming on Applied Digital. So if it breaks to the upside, favors a move higher. My level on resistance, major level of resistance at that. I got to sneeze. Okay, done with my sneeze. My level of resistance is somewhere up here around 1722. Could be looking closer to 1967 for a level of support of resistance. So let's say it breaks above, you can see it move 8 to 25% higher, right? Is that correct? So it seems like a big spread, but somewhere up here. Sarah says, thank you, Lon. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate your questions. I really appreciate your questions, Sarah. Sarah says, thanks, Lon. In 4 hours chart, XLM, your favorite. XLM. Keen, I didn't see that. Did you send me a message? My Twitter is @Lawton Investing. It's just my name, Lawton, followed by investing. You can send that again, Keen. I might not have seen it, or just give me your handle. Just write your handle in the chat. I'll look at it. Sarah says, in the 4-hour chart, is this a rising wedge or triangle or pennant? What are the outlooks? Let's take a look. Yeah, so that is kind of a wedge pattern, right? On let's just remove all of this stuff. So Sarah sent me a chart basically with these levels, basically something similar to this, and then giving me something on the downside, essentially something like this, right? And I would say this is kind of like this is a wedge to me. It's all kind of a wedge. You saw it broke above here, but could not confirm, fell back into it. So now it's getting in a very tight wedge on the 4-hour mark. It did pretty much bounce off the bottom of this upsloping trend line. So that's how you know this wedge is very good. Now, I haven't done this in a while, and by a while I mean like 2 days. But we're going to go over how to play a wedge, okay? And I'm going to turn this into a teachable moment. All right. I apologize for those of you who have seen that before. And for those of you who have not seen it yet, you're welcome. You're in for a treat. So how do I play a wedge, right? How do I play a wedge? Well, really, you want to see a close below and then a second candle below, and then you're favoring a move to the downside. Same thing with here. You want to see a close above, and then you want to see a secondary close above. We did not see that, and XLM is falling back into it. On a break of a trend line, you can enter one of two places. One of two places, I guess, one on the top and one on the bottom. So anyways, you can either enter on the break. The break, you just want to get in, but put a stop in. And then you can re-enter, or you can wait for it to break and then come back to this trend line and then bounce. Same thing to the bottom side. Wait for a break or retrace back to it and enter here. Okay? That's how you play a wedge. This is a beautiful wedge on XLM. Great eye, Sarah. I know this is something that you ask about every day. Great eye, great job. Looks good. Paula says, I appreciate that level of authenticity, of course. I mean, we're nothing without integrity, right? But yeah, Keaton, you can just send me another message or give me your handle and I'll send you a message. Paula says, I understand that you just lose the premium with put options. You do, but people don't often hold that into expiration, Paula. So like people will sell the premium when it's higher. Like let's say I bought calls on Nvidia, right? I don't usually hold it to the end. If I'm in the money and the premium is higher, right? Essentially, that's what I'm trading, those premium prices. I'll sell it when the premium's higher. Michelle says, hello, Lon. Hello, Michelle. Do you see any reason to hold the VXX? Could you please give us a scenario where it'd be advantageous to hold VXX? Well, this VXX is just it's a ETF of the VIX, right? Which is just the index for volatility on the on the stock market. So if you believe that something big is going to happen, like today, what happened? Inflation was higher than we thought. VIX popped, right? Or VXX popped because of it. So you would be able to hold it and just wait for a big move to happen. Like let's go back. When was there the most volatility? April. Look at this. Liberation Day. VIX went up. VXX went up 81%. So if you think a black swan event is going to happen, something big is major is going to happen, rate cut, no rate cut, something insane is going to happen, by the VXX. Wow, I only have 5 more minutes. Dang, I got to go a little bit faster. Anyways, Paula says, I love that, especially if it's me. Thank you. I'm going through options trading. Of course. Happy to help. Renica says, are you going to do it again? You're going to do it again. How about a third time? Okay. How about a fourth time? Fifth time? We're good. Okay, that's how I know we're running out of time. So I got to pick up the pace a little. This is going to be our rapid fire round where I'm just going to try and go a little quicker, guys. All right. Hope you guys don't mind. Okay. Renica says, hi, Lon. Thank you for the time. Absolutely my pleasure. Please pull up the COHR. Where would be a good entry for a long swing? I keep waiting for $86, but it's not hitting. So it's fell off of earnings. Now, here's what I'll say, and I say this every single time. Give it a couple days to digest the move. If I wanted a level to get in, absolutely, I would look for a level. I mean, it came close to 86. 86 would be a good level. For me, personally, I'd be interested here, or more likely somewhere around here, around $81. However, I think you're going to get your 86. Okay? Mark says, what's the important thing you've learned from Gareth or someone else at VI? Who was it and what was it? So when I first started entering, verified investing and started trading with these guys, before learning anything, I was like, dude, these guys are making a lot of money, and their win rate's high. Let me just throw all my money in there. No, you get absolutely destroyed because, yeah, you'll make more money on the wins, but if we take a loss, you're going to get completely destroyed. Position sizing is the absolute most important thing. Guys, to become a professional trader, to become a successful trader, to become a profitable trader, it does not matter how much, like how many wins you have and how much money you make on your wins. That's not what makes you a profitable trader. That's not what makes you a pro trader. That doesn't determine whether or not you can wake up next morning and trade. It's amazing for your account. It feels amazing and the money is great. However, if you don't use proper risk management strategies, like controlling your position sizes and utilizing a stop loss, you can get absolutely obliterated. Right? You can get absolutely obliterated. If you go too heavy, but this is the one trade that goes against us, what can you do? You get wiped out. All right, Sarah says, hi, amazing Lon. Hi, amazing Sarah to you. I hope that made sense more. SOX daily gap fill 1569 on the daily. What factor signals to buy long SOX? I'm ready long SOX right now. I think it's an amazing level. I see a move up. My target is around $10. If we see a market pullback, right? What is INTC? What do I see for INTC today? I'm shorting it here at $22.63. I gotta go faster. Mr. Fisher said, what up? Do you have any special settings on? I don't have that trend line for eBay. That's not a special setting. I just on the daily, I just took this pivot high to this pivot high. And it takes me right there. Like this. But the thing is, gap fills aren't really valid on SOX just because it's an inverse, it's a leveraged ETF of an ETF. If you want to chart SOXS and look for gap fills, you want to look at the thing it's based on, which is SOXX. And you want to look for gap fills here, like this gap fill here. Good target, 6% lower. Paul says, tokenomics on chain analysis, trend line. There are specific AI tools for crypto that may help. Yes. Zach says, I just like getting a second opinion on the same charts I'm looking at. Of course, happy to do so. Gotcha, Paula. Paula says to Mars' girlfriend says, mention to your girlfriend that there are much better cryptos to purchase, even meme coins on the Ethereum protocol. Look at CoinGecko. $1 isn't. Yep, and that's what I said. That wasn't my question, Paula. That was a question from Mar. But yeah, Paula is just saying, Mar, that that $1 is unlikely to happen. Mr. Fish says, sorry, I'm a noob. Dude, you're totally fine. Listen, you could be the most experienced trader, or you could be like never traded it before in your life. Your questions are still valid. I'd love to answer them, and I love to talk to you about them. Never feel bad for asking a question, especially when it's your capital at risk, right? You're the one executing these trades. You're the ones who made this money, right? You made the money working your jobs, doing whatever in order to have the opportunity to trade this. So never apologize for wanting to know how to spend your money better, to be able to invest your money better, and try to make more money. There is no such thing as a dumb question, except for questions that I ask. Okay. Juan says, what do you think of Cat? Thanks for the answer, Lawton. Stop doing that. Okay. Cat, my target for Cat. I would like to, I expect a bounce on Cat down here, basically 4% lower at 394.41, and there's another gap here at 366.19. You could take a picture. These are the levels I anticipate a bounce on Cat. Should it come down? Mar says, my girlfriend, thank you about LUNC. You're welcome. Raydell says, KWeb enter a position for a potential breakout. You saw I had this wedge here as well. I'd drawn this a while ago for me on KWeb. And I would look for an entry probably here around $35.50. Paul says read about some cost fallacy. Don't get tied into any particular crypto. That's the number one crypto rule. I 100% agree. Quadruple J. Hi, Lon. It's Quadruple J. There you go. AKJ Quad. Let's go. Looks like Unity is retesting highs after a breakout. Absolutely. If you confirms a daily close above the recent high, what is the next level of resistance? Does this chart look bullish to you? Yeah, it does, because, dude, look how far Unity is. Unity software is down here. It's about 82% down from its lows. I think my levels of support, or resistance rather, on Unity are going to be as follows. I think you could easily get a move up here to the $42 level, $43 level. Let's see what else we got here. I apologize. I'm trying to do this quick because I'm trying to get to as many questions as possible, even though I'm already over time. But you can take a picture of those really quick. So check that out. All right, Keaton, I'll send you a message. Okay, guys. There's so many more questions, guys. I can't get to all of it. I wish I could. I really wish I could, but I can't. I have to go on to the live day trading room soon. I'm already over time, but if you enjoyed this program, if you enjoy interacting with me like I enjoy interacting with you, please consider liking, commenting, giving us a subscription to the Verified Investing YouTube channel. Again, I'll send you a message, Keen. If you guys have any additional questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Just not here, just not now. Again, my name is Lawton Ho here with Verified Investing. You can send me your questions on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @Lawton, followed by the word investing, @Lawton Investing. I'd be more than happy to answer any charting questions if you want to send me over a quick chart. I can't promise that I'd answer them really, really quickly, but I will do my best. Okay, guys? Have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you all tomorrow at 12:30. Have a good one, guys. Take it easy. Bye-bye. Hey guys, Lawton here with Verified Investing, and today I'm here to talk about Kinesis.money, our sponsor. Thank you to Kinesis for sponsoring us. So Kinesis has this awesome thing called yields, in which you can literally earn gold by just performing different activities on their website and their platform. So the first way that you can earn on Kinesis.money is through their holders yield. So basically what that is if you buy some KAG or KAU from them, which is basically equivalent to gold or silver, they're one-to-one crypto equivalent of gold and silver, you're able to collect money from them, right? A percentage of all of the fees that Kinesis takes over transactions, over buying KU, KG, or anything else is distributed to people that hold on to KAG and KAU. So super cool. Now, the velocity spending is also really cool. So if you spend KAU or KAG, you're actually going to get a percentage of all the fees. Again, this is of all the fees that Kinesis takes relative to how much you use Kinesis. So this is things from going to the grocery store and buying things on your Kinesis card. This are things like buying KAG, KAU, sending it to someone else. And finally, it's the same thing as trading on their platform, right? If you do any of those things, you qualify for this velocity yield. The next awesome way that you can earn with Kinesis is through the referrers yield. So if you refer any friends, family, you'll get a percentage of all of their transactions in perpetuity, which is super cool. They also have a partner for a program for partners and minters. But what I really want to focus on is this KVT, the most exciting part of Kinesis for me. 20% of all of the shares of all the transaction fees that happen on Kinesis are going to be distributed to holders of the KVT crypto token. There's a limited amount of crypto supply, but that's a really cool way to actually own part of Kinesis. You can get in on the ground level and just hold those tokens and collect a nice return. Thank you so much to Kinesis for sponsoring this video, and go check out their website at Kinesis.money.